Hello, welcome to Michelle Loses It. I'm Michelle. Today I'm going to share with you, I'm on week 5 of my Calibrate journey, and I'm going to share with you my update. If that sounds interesting to you, then please stay tuned. Okay, so following along with last week, you know that I had my second meeting with my coach, and my goals for this week were to continue drinking my water and try to get to the 120 ounces a day. I'd been doing 96. My goal is 120. It was try to get up to the 120, to continue drinking it and tracking it, to continue doing my daily weigh-ins, and to begin following the food triangle, which I kind of gave you a little bit of highlight on that last week, and to track my red foods. So those are my goals this week. Have I been successful? I think that I've been mostly successful. So I finally found my groove in drinking my water, and I've been getting my 120 ounces in. So I think I mentioned I made myself a schedule. I put that like front and center in my office, like right in between. I have 2 monitors on my desk, and the schedule's right in the middle of my 2 monitors. And I put an alarm on my phone like every 30 minutes between 9 and 3 o'clock for a couple of days, and that kind of helped me get like my jam going. And although I'm not always successful at getting all my staying on track with my timing during that time period, I am getting enough in to where, like, if I'm a little bit behind, by the time the evening rolls around, I'm able to get caught up and I get my 120 ounces in before I go to bed. Now, I don't know about you, and I don't know if this is a menopause thing or not, but even when I wasn't drinking 120 ounces a day, I was getting up a couple of times a night during the night to go to the restroom. And now that's kind of increased. So I'm not getting continuous sleep during the night, which I hadn't been for a few years now, but it's even worse. Now, the good news for me is that I'm able to fall right back asleep, so I don't feel like it's terrible, but I am tired during the day, and I do wake up with headaches often. I was doing that before I started the program, so it's not program related, but yeah, I don't know a way around that. Anyway, that's what's going on there. I've continued my daily weigh-ins. I've been very good about that. I haven't missed a single day on that. And I am really good about doing the tracking in the app. So my only grievance with the app, and now it's not a problem because I'm getting my 120 ounces in, but the tracking on the app is either did you get your water in or not? And so if I don't get the 120 ounces in, I have to say no, even if I got 96 ounces in. I wish that it would ask you to track how much you've drank. And it doesn't do that. So from a mental state, I feel like that's a little defeating. I haven't let it, but I feel like it clearly could be a negative for somebody that in my old frame of mind, that would have been like, well, crap, I'm failing. I haven't let that happen to me this time. I am very focused on being positive and celebrating the wins, but in my old state of mind, that really would have derailed me. So I wish that they would change that. The food tracking, all that I've been asked to track is my red food. It's not asking me to track, have I been on track with each of the different food colors? So, and it's not asking me to stay within a limit of the red foods. It's just asking me to track how many servings a day I've had. So I've been very good about doing that. I set an alarm on my phone for 9 p.m. every night, and that's when I track my water and my food. Now, my ultimate goal, and I try to do it as often as possible, I don't always remember, is to track my red foods as I eat them when they're top of mind. But if I don't, then I can get caught up by the end of the day. Okay, so I just want to share with you a few of the changes that I've made in my lifestyle so far. So I have stopped drinking coffee on a daily basis. I used to drink, in the not so distant past, I was drinking multiple cups of coffee a day, and my husband likes to tease me and asks me if I want any coffee with my cream and sugar. I like a lot of cream and sugar in my coffee, and because of that, I've found it very difficult. In fact, for me, it's I know nothing's impossible, but it's pert near impossible to drink black coffee. So I would just, because I have an alternative, I'm not gonna get there. I like drinking hot tea, and I don't need anything in my hot tea. I don't like it as much as my coffee with all the fun cream and sugar, but I do like it. So the first thing I drink when I get up in the morning is a full tumbler of my water before I drink anything else. That gets my day started. And then when I sit down for work, I have a hot mug of tea. So far this week, my favorite has been this Teavana Jade Citrus Mint, and it's just a good one to get my day started. I would love, if you have a hot tea that you love to drink, let me know in the comments. I would love to try out some new ones. Since this hopefully will be my new norm, I would love to have a variety of teas to drink. That one's a big one for me. I'm not saying coffee is off limits for me. A lot of times on the weekends, my husband and I like to go out to breakfast, and I will have coffee then with my full cream and sugar. I'll just make sure and track it. The sugar is a red food, so I'll make sure that I track that. And I'm not going to deny myself foods, and I don't have to on this program. I'm going to be measured about how often I have the foods that are not the best for me. So the thing I don't know that I mentioned last week, the food triangle, the way that it's designed, and this is what they say like in the bullet point of the triangle, I'm not sure if this is the exact wording, but it encourages consumption of foods that are healthy and discourages consumption of foods that lead to weight gain. So there you go. All right, some other changes that I've made this week is I am not snacking on chips like I used to. I used to have potato chips, different versions of chips. That's my downfall. A lot of times when people go on diets or they're on a health kick, their struggle is sweets. That's not my struggle. I like sweets, but if I have to do without them, it's fine. That doesn't feel like deprivation to me. When you take away my chips and my cheeseburgers, that's when I start to be like, I'm missing something. So I have cut out the chips so far, and I have mentioned that I don't really cook, but I mean, cutting up veggies is not that difficult. So I do get groceries delivered, and I have cucumbers and broccoli and carrots, and I have those cut up and they're in containers so that they're easy to grab and snack on throughout the day, so that I still have something crunchy, and it's good and healthy for me. I don't go with the ranch dressing or any of that. I just have the vegetables, and I enjoy them. So that's been working out well. I do still eat some sweets, but they're not like cake and candy and stuff like that. I am more than happy to have some fruit, and I'll cut up a couple of different kinds of fruit and have a fruit cup like apples and bananas and grapes, or I will have a banana with some peanut butter, and I enjoy that as well. So those are some big like food changes that I've made so far, and so far so good. I am not perfect by any means, and I want to make sure that on this channel that I'm completely honest with you on not only my successes, and right now at this stage of the process, I'm not considering these fails, but I haven't really fully embraced the concept of the food pyramid or the food triangle just yet, meaning the goal of the red foods is to have as few as possible. I am tracking every red food that I'm eating, but I am eating more of them than as few as possible would suggest. So, but here's the thing. Like I said, I I'm celebrating the wins and I'm celebrating the progress. And prior to starting the program, I was steadily gaining weight like every week for the last several months. And since I started the program, although I haven't, like I said, fully embraced the food triangle yet, I have made major changes and I haven't gained any weight. So I haven't really lost any yet. I'm kind of like fluctuating up and down like half a pound every day. But I haven't gained any. And for me, based on what's been happening for me over the last couple of months, I see that as progress. And I know that the next step is going to be the weight's going to start dropping off because I'm making these changes little by little and they're becoming more ingrained in my daily habits. And that's why I think this program is so different and it's so right for me. It wouldn't have been right for me a few years ago because I've always been in the mentality where I need to lose it fast and have I always felt like I needed a jump start of weight loss to get me like going. And now I'm kind of learning that that's not the case, at least not for me. Here's the thing, everybody's journey is different. So what works for me may not work for you, but hopefully I'm at least inspiring you to find something that will work for you. And I don't even know if this is going to work for me long term. So far, I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I feel like I'm making steady, positive changes, and that makes me feel really good. And as that makes me feel good and I'm not feeling defeated, I'm encouraged to keep making those small positive changes. I hope that makes sense. So speaking of small positive changes, my husband and I went on a walk at a nature preserve last Saturday. So I might have mentioned that walking for long periods of time has been kind of a struggle for me because of my knees. Because I have really reduced my consumption of processed foods, refined grains. I am finding that my knees don't hurt me as much. So like I said, I haven't wiped them out. I'm still tracking more red foods than I would like. But I'm not tracking nearly as many red foods as I was before I started the program. And so my knees are definitely feeling better. So while I felt like walking to the mailbox and back was as much as I could do right now, I was really pleasantly surprised when my husband and I went to this nature preserve and I was able to walk for a full hour for 1.5 miles. Now that's a really slow pace, but this nature preserve, it's in kind of a swampy area and there are these little skinny, this is exaggeration, but they're pretty skinny wooden walkways with railings and you're going through like the swamp area, all kinds of fabulous like nature going on with, it's very relaxing because it's almost meditative because it's so quiet. There weren't a ton of people and you can hear all the birds chirping and the wind rustling the leaves. It was just really nice. I'll insert some video and some photographs as I'm talking here so you can see kind of what we saw. But we saw alligators, we saw lots of fish, we saw tons of birds, we saw everything that you see in a swamp in nature. And like I said, it was a slow pace. I can remember years ago, I was training for one of those 60-mile walks for breast cancer. And I was at like a 20-minute mile. This was a 40-minute mile. It was a lot slower, but I walked for an hour. I walked for 1.5 miles. I can't even remember. It's been a few years since I've walked that far. So I was really excited about that. And my knee actually didn't really bother me. By the end of the walk, my hip was bothering me, but it didn't start until the very end. So I felt really happy about getting out there and doing it. I wasn't looking forward to it. But I didn't complain. I told my husband, yeah, let's do it. But I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. And we mapped it out ahead of time because there's a loop, but then there's like a shorter loop. And we were like, okay, if we get to this one spot and I feel like I need to cut it short, then we'll do the short loop. But we did the whole thing. and it was awesome, and I feel really good about that. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on anything that I've shared with you today. I'd love to know where you are on your health journey, and I think that we should all celebrate our wins. So let me know what your wins were this week. So if you're here because you're also on a weight loss journey or a health journey, then let's get healthy together. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.